A growing number of Canadians are putting their Florida homes up for sale.
There's a lot of Canadians selling, so I do have way more listings that I'm used to.
Real estate agents and homeowners in the Sunshine State are reporting an exodus of Canadians because of a weak loonie and high insurance costs. Canadians in Florida also citing rising condo fees and the higher cost of groceries. A report from the National Realtors Association finds that Canadians make up nearly a quarter of foreign sellers in Florida between April 2023 and March 2024.
Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by, supporting your girl on this channel. So all credit goes to the creators in these videos. And guys, in today's video, we all know that the US is being boycotted by so many people of different countries. But now, Canadians in Florida, Canadians that own homes in Florida are beginning to sell because they are like, what the age? If these people do not support what we believe in, if this place do not support what we believe in, why should we still give our money to them? They are selling their homes and these creators have a lot to say about it. I'll let this video play and I'll see you soon.
Canada, Canada, Canada. The Canadian snowbirds are reducing their purchases of properties in Florida and Arizona and California in particular, and they are listing their properties at significantly higher percentages than ever before. Thank you, Donald Trump. So my Canadians, what do you think? You going to buy a property in the United States because of Donald Trump? You still want to be that 51st state? What do you think about all that? Well, here's what the actual numbers tell us for what's going on. I must focus predominantly on Florida since that's where I am, but I am going to give a nationwide figure. These figures the data are from Redfin, and the data is of July the 8th of 2025, and it shows here that the searches for homes across the United States by Canadians have dropped 26.4%. Specifically in Florida, we've seen in several of the major cities, we've seen a drop in Miami of 30%. We've seen a drop in Orlando of 29.6%. We've seen a drop in Tampa of 23.4%. We've seen a drop in Fort Lauderdale of 21.2%, which is where I am. And we've seen a drop in West Palm Beach of 16.7%. And also the Florida Realtors Association have noticed that they have noticed an increase in Canadian listings. They are at 2 to 3 times the normal amount of Canadians that would be listing for this time of year and the last several months. Again, Canadians are listing at 200 to 300% higher than they normally would. Why is that, Donald Trump? They don't want to be the 51st state. They're concerned about ICE snatching them up. They're concerned about having problems at the border. All this impacts the economy, and many of you may not see it, but it does ripple through the entire economy throughout the United States. And there are Canadians that have purchased properties or vacation across the United States. This isn't vacation dollars. That's another several billion dollars we've lost, not only from Canada, but worldwide, because vacationers won't come here either because of Donald Trump and because of ICE. So there you have it. So my Canadians, you still looking to purchase in the United States? Are you selling your home or your condo in the United States?
Florida has over 2 million empty homes, yet it's still one of the most unaffordable places to live. Let's make this make some sense. So let's break this down. There are over 2 million homes in Florida that are sitting unused, unoccupied. And yet the state is in a full-blown housing crisis. People can't find affordable housing. Houses just keeps going up like Beyonce's ticket prices. And the kicker? Insurance companies are raising premiums like it's a new hurricane every week, and it's nothing even going on right now. Yeah, we've had no new hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico. In the Gulf of America, we've had nothing. So my question is, who is actually really benefiting in Florida from keeping those homes empty? Because somebody has to be benefiting from that. So they keep the homes empty and the rates high. Then who's really winning in that situation? Really? What's your thought? Why do you think they have so many homes sitting vacant in Florida and why their insurance rates are sky high? What do you think is really going on?
Well, obviously, the wave of Canadian selling is not just about money. Politics also play a role. Trade fights, new border rules, and this harsh rhetoric have made some Canadians feel less welcome in the United States, right? because of high cost, even political tension, because some of them are changing this their long standing tradition, because for decades Florida can count on, Canadian snowbirds, as they call them, to buy homes, condos, and stay there every winter. But now that steady flow is slowing down, and it just shows how global politics and economics can hit close to home, right? Even in Florida that is so sunny. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section, because it's not just about people moving, right? And it's affecting Florida's housing market, because homes that once sold quickly are now sitting on the market for longer, and the prices are starting to dip. Because for Canadians, right, the money they save by selling, they can use it to go for cheaper options. Instead of owning the homes, they can rent for a couple of months. That is if they still want to come to the US. But for Florida, on the other hand, when they have fewer buyers, it just means they will have a lot of for sale signs, and that is not good for their real estate. Oh, guys, let's keep watching.
How bad are things in Florida? From a real estate standpoint, I'll tell you how bad. Lee County, Cape Coral, and Fort Myers. It's a small county. It's a small area. How many homes do you think are for sale in Little Lee County, Florida? You probably couldn't guess if you wanted to, but believe it or not, right now, there is over 24,000 homes for sale in Lee County, the most ever. There's never, ever in the history of Lee County been 24,000 homes for sale. And that tells you the dire situation that is going on, not only in Lee County, but around Florida. Because let me ask you another question. How many vacant homes do you think are in Florida right now? Vacant, no one inside. How many? 500,000? 800,000? 1,000,000.
And so the local buyer is having trouble filling in the gap. We're going to have to continue to see these prices drop before the buyers come back in. Now, remember what I told you folks in the beginning about all the empty homes? Like in this neighborhood, I keep walking by houses that look empty. It doesn't look like anyone's living there. It doesn't look like anyone's living there. And about a quarter of the houses in this neighborhood are vacant shadow inventory, according to data on Reventure app from the US Census Bureau. When you see so much vacant housing, so many empty houses, so much shadow inventory, that's a signal to you that there's a potential for a mass sell-off in the future, because if someone's not living in the house, whether it's an investor or a second and third homeowner, it's just way easier for them to sell when the downturn hits. And in this zip code in particular, the inventory has gone up by about 500% from the pandemic low, and we have the most supply here in this neighborhood that we've had in a decade. And so this is a perfect example of what I've been warning you guys all about, right? The investors coming into the market, the speculators coming into the market. Yes, they push the prices up on the way up, but they cause the crash to be worse. And what I think is interesting is the denial that's going on right now in the real estate market, because I see it in the comments section to my YouTube videos. I see it from other real estate YouTubers. There's people out there who are still trying to say that there is no housing downturn and that prices are going to keep going up, especially down here in Florida. I see a lot of Florida-based people still trying to argue that there isn't a downturn. And folks, we got to give that up, because the data at this point is so obvious that there's a downturn in Florida.
People are finding out that maybe they screwed up this past year in the election. And I'm going to talk about the state of Florida. As you know, you hadn't heard as much from Ron DeSantis lately because he's in trouble about maybe directing $10 million worth of money that wasn't his into his campaign accounts and all over the place. Oh, his wife is the one who's doing it, though. But what Florida is finding out in voting for Donald Trump, they're seeing the largest decline in the price of homes in Florida in 13 years. There's more homes on the market than there have been in decades. Those prices are falling, and people are learning that a lot of folks, even though they liked Florida, they didn't want to come in the pretense of only supporting one man. The Canadians have left. We have a ton of folks that had retired there. They're moving to other states. And it is what's the funniest part is, Florida folks, there is a net positive people moving from Florida to the state of California, which has always been victimized by Ron DeSantis. But folks, the real estate market is in turmoil in Florida. So, and Florida's not used to that, folks. They're used to always growing. Well, Florida's economy and the real estate market is tanking.
Whoa, hold on. The news is out. Newsweek is out about Florida. Florida real estate, not just part of the state, the whole state is crashing. The whole state is suffering. Prices are falling and falling fast throughout the state. Why? We've been talking about it on this channel for over 2 years. Taxes are high. HOA fees are high. Insurance continues to go higher and higher and higher. That's if you can even get it. Florida real estate is in big trouble, and Newsweek spells it out. Basically what I've been saying for over 2 years. You just can't make a decent living in Florida. There's just not enough jobs. There's not enough opportunity. And even if you do have a decent job, the expenses are just getting completely out of hand. And people are now moving out of Florida in droves. Like and follow for more. We'll be talking a lot more about Florida real estate because the crash.
Anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section, because I think the reason why they are all selling is obvious to you and I. They are trying to boycott the US and they feel they are not welcome there. So if they are not welcome there, they see no reason why they have to spend their Canadian dollars there. Okay, let me know what you think in the comment section about this update. Thank you for listening, guys. I'll see you in my next video. Please don't forget to stay safe. Mental health is important. Ciao.